Alrighty, so Battlefield 6 open beta has concluded, and I gotta say, I had a really good time with it. It feels like a true to form Battlefield game with some much welcome changes, but still feels like a traditional entry into the franchise. We're back to the classic class system, though it has been changed up a little bit. I really wish we could have gotten a taste of the different skill trees that the classes would come with in the full release, but what are you going to do? Assault feels really powerful. I'm excited for them to get the spawn beacon as opposed to recon. It'll make Assault feel much more like a team class, so looking forward to that. I do want to know what Recon's unique equipment is going to be if they're not going to have the spawn beacon. I also really want to experiment with the Spec Ops tree and using different weapons aside from your DMRs or your sniper rifles with it. Support feels great. No real big changes I would recommend for the support as long as the defib gets fixed. And the Dragon Revive mechanic being enhanced by support is awesome. I think the Dragon Revive mechanic is probably my new favorite addition to Battlefield, and I think every Battlefield going forward should have it. It would feel completely empty without a Dragon Revive mechanic. My only complaint is that the Engineer feels a bit underpowered. I feel like its anti-armor capabilities are a bit underpowered, though that'll probably change around when we start getting weapons like Javelins and AT-4s and other rocket launcher weapons aside from the RPG. And again, I would really like to see what examples of other skill trees we'll have for the other classes. Recon getting a sniper skill tree and a spec ops skill tree is very cool. I'm wondering what they'll do with the other ones. I generally found the maps enjoyable. They are definitely on the smaller side, though we kind of had a history of that with previous Battlefield betas. Operation Metro was an absolute shit show in Battlefield 3, but it was a fun time. I very much enjoyed it. I'm hoping that the larger maps are actually like really large scale. We get Operation Firestorm, which is a very big map. I'm hoping that the other massive maps are able to scratch the itch that something like Caspian Border and other large maps that won't be in the game. It can fill those spots. One thing I always found funny was people complaining about the destruction in the game. And while, yes, technically, I think it is a limited version of the destruction we've gotten in, say, Bad Company 2, and definitely pales in comparison to the finals. I think that the destruction in Battlefield 6 is actually useful for creating new pathways, ramps up to, other levels of the building or passageways to lower floors of the building. I would like to see them expand much more on the usefulness of destruction. But I think for the purpose of this game, I think the limited destruction that they have is actually beneficial to it rather than allowing us to level entire maps so you just have an open field with no cover. I definitely don't think that Battlefield 6 benefits that much from that level of destruction. It would be cool to see Levolution come back in some form, but I have no idea if they're actually even going to do that. Levolution is cool, but it could be too much of a hassle to utilize properly. But we'll have to see. While the challenges were difficult, especially in week 2, because there was so little time to get them all done, I did manage to finish all the challenges, and I actually like the idea of unlocking cosmetics and other rewards through challenge unlocks. I hope that is a staple of the full game. It would definitely encourage me to continue playing and grinding out those awesome unlocks. The big streamers are, of course, asking for a battle pass because they're idiots. But we already know that a battle pass is going to be coming to Battlefield 6. I just hope that it is at least a fair price battle pass with some actual worthwhile unlocks in it. There's, of course, some changes I would like to see. It feels like Empire State's a very corridor-heavy map. I would like to see them possibly, if it's even possible, open up new opportunities to create pathways by blowing holes in walls and knocking down other doors in other places, because I feel like we could definitely use a lot more flanking routes in Empire State, and it's a very limited play space, I'd say. Also, much more verticality in all the maps. I know a lot of people didn't like the rooftop chaos that came with Siege of Cairo, but I think it opens up a lot of opportunity for gameplay. I think they should actually hone in and utilize the rooftops with ladders and stairways leading to roofs to create a lot more of a vertical chaos. As a counter to that, maybe add in a helicopter or two into Siege of Cairo. Maybe that's a unrealistic request, but I think it could work out great. Give him a little mini bird or something. I thought most of the weapons actually felt generally good. The shotgun is obviously very overpowered, but I think just a increase in its spread would probably do a lot to mitigate the overpoweredness of that weapon. One major change I would make is DMRs felt useless. They're not as powerful as sniper rifles, obviously, but they also feel very inaccurate, and I don't think it's just my skills. Every time I use the DMR, I felt like I would have just been much better off using a assault rifle modified for long range, or just using the sniper rifle at a slightly closer distance. So hopefully DMRs get some sort of a change that makes them a much more viable weapon as a good middle ground between, I guess it would be assault rifles and sniper rifles and carbines. A nice little mid-range sniper rifle. There is, of course, the ever-looming threats that EA will do its EA thing and eventually ruin the game. Hopefully the Battlefield team will have a lot more sway if the game is successful, but we will see. EA is EA at the end of the day still. I know that there's a Battle Royale coming, and I frankly just don't like battle royales at all. I've never gotten that much enjoyment out of them. They were a cool fad for PUBG and a little bit of Apex, but at the end of the day, I just cannot get into them. I know Battlefield's getting its. I just hope development for Battlefield 6 does not wane in favor of the Battle Royale. Obviously, we only got a small taste of what the game has for it. There are a very limited select number of weapons. I believe they said there would be about 40 weapons at launch. We had a limited selection of equipment, no alternate skill trees to try out, few vehicles, few weapons. So I'm hoping that we get quite a large variety of equipment to use. The Battlefield multiplayer reveal trailer definitely showed some cool little items that would be used, like decoys for snipers. We did see a javelin. And so I'm hopeful that Battlefield 6 is able to live up to my hopes. I could really use another good Battlefield to play through, and this feels like we're stepping in the right direction. I'm also excited we are getting a campaign with an actual story with characters, it looks like. I'm very curious as to what the story is going to end up being. I can't fathom a PMC making so much money that they're willing to go to war with NATO, but who knows? Maybe that's not such a far-fledged idea. We will see what happens. It'd also be kind of cool if we had some sort of a cooperative mode, maybe like the Spec Ops missions from the Modern Warfare series, or just short missions where a team of friends can just go about and complete quick 10-20 minute missions. I think that'd be a fun addition. At the end of the day, we'll just have to wait and see, but overall, I very much had a good time with Battlefield 6. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go with this game in the future. And just remember, no pre-orders. Wait for them to actually earn our money. That's it. Thank you for listening to me ramble about the game, and I wish you all the best.